welcome to the AgileTD After Work. So today we have Anaïs there and Anaïs, I think, which she will tell us how her name is, because it's, you know, I'm Spanish guy speaking English and she has a French name. So let's see how it is. And so welcome back. So we're very happy that she's there. And let me introduce her here. So, hi. How is your name? How is your name pronounced? So that everybody.
It's Anaïs, but
Anaïs.
it like I think as a French person would cringe because it is actually Anaïs, but
Okay.
for me it's Anaïs.
Anaïs. Okay. That's okay. Just to be sure. Yes, that we don't make any mistakes. But it doesn't mean that I remembered it later on. But it's okay. So thanks so much. So I learned that you are based in Berlin. You are working for Choco, right? So what is your work there?
So I am one of the two QA engineers there. Basically, yeah, spreading out the QA vibes for the whole engineering department. It's quite a hell of a job, to be honest. It's 50, 60 people in total. But by helping standardizing QA practices and also helping with test automation and setting up CI/CD workflows, yeah, it's there's a lot to do, but it's also very diverse. So, yeah,
Okay,
in a
that's
nutshell.
okay. That's nice. So she's based in Berlin, like we are. So that we landed today too, and she's going to be also at the Agile Testing Days, having a talk there. So so we will start. And if you have questions, please just write down the question, and we will handle them at the end. But I will put a banner with this information too. So thanks so much. I will put your presentation on the stage, and then I will go away and come back later. Enjoy.
Nice.
Enjoy.
Thank you. All right. So I also heard that all of you can also put up some hands. So I will ask some questions now and then. So let's see if that is working. Because I'm actually wondering who of you here is involved in any kind of bug management. Can we see if someone is putting up their hands? I don't see anything yet, but maybe later. Nice. And yeah, if you are doing bug management, is that sometimes frustrating? Well, for me, it definitely is, was, and sometimes still is. But are you ready to leverage AI and automation for your workflow to get from patching issues to self-healing systems? You will leave this session hopefully inspired to do so. So, short note on the agenda. After my introduction, I will share something about these iterations on revolutionizing bug management. And it's actually an evolving presentation, and it also includes a demo. So it can be not 100% smooth, but it's all for the good. So then you can also experience my latest viewpoint on it. So we have a lot of ground to cover. I won't dive in too deep, but we'll definitely highlight some technical concepts and implementations behind the AI solutions. So let's dive right in. As said earlier, my name is Anaïs van Asselt. I'm one of the two QA engineers at Choco, and throughout the last decade, I've had the opportunity to implement test automation in web and in the backend, setting up CI/CD workflows, educating teams with QA. And I had the opportunity to do that at a lot of different organizations, both government, but also private organizations. This really helps to like get a good perspective on the whole QA sector. And maybe you've already heard it on my accent, but I am from the Netherlands. But this sentence that I got from a LinkedIn message got me to move to Berlin in 2022. Join us in our mission to reduce food waste. So I did. I moved to Berlin to join Choco. And Choco is a startup that brings restaurants and their supplier together on a digital platform where ordering goods becomes as easy as a chat. And by optimizing this order management process, we can make it more transparent. And in that way, customers can save time, money, and most importantly, food waste. So imagine working as a developer at Choco. You're contributing to an app that helps reduce food waste globally, which is quite meaningful work. So happy days, right? But there are also some unhappy days, and those are the days that you are assigned as a bug duty officer. And your task as a bug duty officer is to investigate all of the incoming user reported bugs and assign it to the right team. So a bug comes in and you assign it to a team, but it appears to be the wrong team and they send you back and you go back and forth and a lot of people get distracted in the way. So we did some calculations around it and you also already see here we had an average of 4 bugs a day, which is 20 minutes of actually assigning these bugs. You have to investigate it, and it's also can be quite difficult, especially for a developer whose context is within a team, but you actually have to know the context of all the teams. So it took a lot of time and distractions, and per month more than 6.5 hours. And this is exactly the challenge that we try to solve during the first AI hackathon ever at Choco, which was back in 2023. And with this solution, we assign bugs automatically to the right team by first asking the question, which team owns this bug? So we have the bug report that comes in, and we want to ask this question. And in order to get to the right team to assign this bug to, we need some context. We need context about the teams. We need a list of responsibilities um, in ways of functionalities, for example. So we have this bug report. We have the context of the teams, and then we ask which team would own this bug, and we ask LLM this. And then this answer would be something that we would mention in Slack actually. So this is the first solution that we created after this AI hackathon. And we didn't actually know it at the time, but this was our first RAG solution. Did any one of you heard about RAG before? Still don't really see anything else, but yeah, I'm just wondering. But I will also explain it a bit. So RAG solution is maybe something that you heard along the way. Actually realized it in hindsight because the term wasn't known at that time. It is a very basic one, but RAG actually means is that you retrieve context about something, you augment a query with this context, and then you generate or optimize the answer with it. And this is exactly what we did with the team context. So it was a RAG in disguise and the first iteration of bug management in AI. And then looking at the results, it's actually almost 2 years in use now. And we don't have a bug duty officer anymore. So that is definitely nice. Each team is only bothered with the bugs relevant to them. So that means fewer distractions and really focusing on the bugs that belong to your team. And of course, sometimes a team is still wrongly assigned, but that is mostly due to like unclear ownership or changing ownership even, or new features. So it actually surfaces some unclarities about ownership. It is very, very funny to see. So then I talked about this first AI hackathon, and this was not the only solution that got attention during this AI hackathon. I just wanted to to mention that there was another solution that is now actually a big part of our product now, which is Choco AI. And Choco AI is a way that we use to basically process all of these manual order types, like an order in an email or an order in a voicemail or even WhatsApp and SMS. We found a way to process these orders automatically into our Choco application. And we also so that it like comes into our system automatically, so you only have to review it. And then actually when the confidence is very high, we have something like that is called autopilot, where the order is actually automatically processed and even sent to the ERP for order picking. So that is a nice improvement, and that is actually something that enables our users not to really change anything to their way of working. So that is just something that I wanted to mention. So now on to the next challenge, and I want you to imagine again. Imagine now that you are not working as a developer, but as part of the customer support in Choco. And you are chatting with a customer Maria, and she is a chef in a pizzeria, but she has a problem. She can't order because in the app because she can't select any delivery dates in the calendar. Everything is grayed out. What like this is a big problem for Maria because she can't order. So a bug is created by you, by the customer support employee. Engineers investigate. They ask for more information. Then you ask Maria for more information. It goes back and forth a couple of times, and then finally engineers realize, oh, it's not a bug. It's actually a phone setting. Um, like if we have a specific calendar setting, and if it's not set in the right way, then you don't see the delivery dates in the proper way. And Maria had to wait for this answer that we already knew and was pretty easily to fix. And an outcome of a bug like this is something that we call a manual fix. And of course, at some point we want to create a long-term fix, but this is something we can fix pretty easily short term. And actually, what we saw is that 25% of our bugs had these kind of known solutions, these manual fixes, and we had way less real code fixes, real issues that had to be fixed in the code. And we also had a lot of other invalid bugs, a lot of other kinds of manual fixes, like issues that can't be reproduced or which are actually a feature request, another bug. And yeah, that is quite a challenge, mostly because the user has to wait a long time for something that might be actually a quick fix or a quick answer. So a lot of band-aids, but what if our bugs could diagnose and heal themselves and make the customer support and our customers happy again? And that leads us to the next solution, which is a proper RAG solution this time. And it is a solution to automatically generate bug recommendations based on a knowledge base of Jira bugs. So instead of retrieving the team context and augmenting the query with that context, we are actually doing a search for the most similar bugs related to the bug that is reported, get the top 3, and then see if we can generate a recommendation based on these retrieved documentation. And let's dive a bit more into this knowledge base that we create with Jira. How does this work? So what I actually do is I retrieve Jira bugs with an API call based on like a JQL query. So that is like this search that you can do in Jira on specific projects or specific statuses. So I did a search within a specific amount of time for the specific projects that are in scope, for closed bugs. So I have all of these filterings. I retrieve all of these Jira issues, and then I first start sanitizing these issues. So might be some sensitive information in these issues. I remove them. I generate the issue or summarize the issue based on the description, and I summarize an outcome based on all of the comments in the Jira ticket. So that is something that I do, and I also retrieve some other information, some metadata, the Jira key, all of these things that help help with these recommendations later on. More on that later. So then imagine we have a Jira issue, a historical one with the issue and the outcome. Then that issue will be converted into vectors. And that means that the text is converted into vectors, so that is a list of numbers that captures its meaning, to enable similarity search in the vector database. So we have it converted into vectors, into embeddings. We save it into the vector database, which is Superbase in this case. And all of this enables that we can actually can search for these top 3 of relevant historical bugs related to a new bug. So that is what we see here. So imagine a new bug comes in. We also have to convert the text of that new bug into these same type of embeddings, the same type of vectors, so that we compare these vectors with all of the bugs that we have in Superbase to get like the most top 3 or the most similar bugs that we can find and that we can return. And that is based on a match from 0 to 1, where like 0.99 is a very, very high score. So we retrieve the context of those historical bugs, we put it in the LLM prompt, and then we say, can you generate a recommendation? Can you make a recommendation for some steps? That is how this solution looks like. But there are also some challenges with this solution. By the way, there will be a demo, so I will also show how this all looks like in practice. But first, the challenges with this solution, because no AI solution is perfect. And it actually starts with the knowledge base itself, right? So we have a knowledge base of historical Jira bugs, but it gets outdated pretty quickly. So it needs to be updated with new closed bugs. So that has to be something scheduled, for example. And then also the generated answers weren't always that accurate. And there's also not an easy way to track the feedback of these answers back into the system to actually improve on this. So what can we do to overcome these issues, these challenges? And that got me to the next iteration, which is a self-improving knowledge base. And on the left side, you see the same thing that we saw earlier with the solution where we retrieve the most similar Jira bugs based on the bug report. We generate a recommendation based on all of this documentation, and then this answer is generated. But now it is possible to give feedback on this answer. So we have everything set up in Jira. You will see it later on as well. There is a bug reported. Then in that thread of the bug report, the answer of the LLM will be sent, and it is possible to respond to that answer with either a check mark, that it's good, happy people, or it's not good, and you want to provide the correct answer. And you can provide this correct answer by actually tagging the agent that I created with the right answer, and then that answer together with the bug report, will be formed together to an FAQ and saved in the FAQ list and also in the knowledge base itself. You will also see how that will work in a bit. So in that way, the bot can find this answer the next time because that is also linked to our vector database. Sorry. Also, another thing that I didn't show here, like apart from the self-improving knowledge base, I also have a workflow in place that is actually scheduled, which every week or like every couple of days actually updates the Jira issues with the statuses, with new bugs that have been closed. So that is also something that I added here. So without further ado, let's see how much time I have left. So there is time for a quick demo for sure.
Yes, yes. You can make a demo, no problem.
Nice. Okay, so this is live, people. So let's see how it goes. We are now in our Slack application. We have a custom workflow to create a bug. We are now in a testing channel, so all is good. So we have a bug report that we can file here. So let's imagine that we are Maria and I'm trying to order, but I can't because I can't select delivery date. They are all grayed out. What to do? Okay, we can insert like a couple of IDs that can be useful. For now, let's pretty much skip it. So it's this is all to like help like prioritize and do all of these debugging, but let's keep it simple for now. The moment of truth. Okay, so now the first step is that we see that the bug got reported. There is also a Jira ticket created. So this is also like all of these automations is something that we realized. So we have the bug ticket created. You also see that the bug is automatically assigned. So you see the first, you actually see the first iteration kicking in here. I'm actually actively working on this flow at this point because I'm changing some stuff with the knowledge base and like changing embeddings and all of these things. Okay, happily it worked. It worked out. So this is the magic that happens with the bug recommendation. And we can actually respond here with either it's okay, it's not okay. This is just for like for demo purposes. And then what we can do actually is, so here we have our FAQ list, for example, and we say, no, this is not the correct answer. We say the answer should be delivery date, dates are grayed out because there is pink elephant icon blocking the screen. Why not? Okay, so let's give the right answer here. And what is actually happening now is that an FAQ will be created based on that. So here we see. So based on the question and the new answer, like a proper FAQ is created here. And now you only see it in Notion, but this means it is also added into our vector database. So also added into our knowledge base. So the next time that the question will be answered, it can retrieve this particular recommendation as well. So that is something that we can do. Is there something else that I can show? Yeah, so just to give a little bit of idea how how it can look like, and what kind of tooling that I use. Now I'm showing N8N, and N8N is a low-code automation tool that I use for a lot of these flows you saw, like Slack integration with Jira and Notion as well. And N8N is a great tool to connect all of these different tools together. And also, that is the tool that I use to retrieve all of the bugs from Jira, sanitize everything, and then you can do AI calls here as well. You can see it. So here is the FAQ generation, for example. So that is like a pretty strong tool when like integrating different kinds of tools. And then for the specific AI agent that I now use to generate these recommendations, and also for these next steps, that is LlamaGraph. And here you will see like a call to a sub workflow that is actually calling an endpoint, because that is a proper Nest.js application that I created with JavaScript. And I can show just a little bit because I see it's time is almost up. So just like a couple of quick pointers there how it looks like. Let's see if we can move to the slideshow again. Yeah. So N8N is what I showed, and LlamaGraph is more like a granular tool. It's like a wrapper around Lang chain that you can use, and it provides a graph that you can set up with different nodes and steps. You can create proper AI agents with that, also with like decision trees. You can, for example, say, oh, we have a specific order display bugs, and we want to like kick off a different flow for that, like retrieving other information. So that really like provides a lot of opportunities to also extend it. I tried it out with N8N, but I feel that this really gives an extra layer of granularity and detail that you can dive into. And this could be like a next step, also showing the power of LlamaGraph. And now I'm actually working on this part where, apart from creating a recommendation based on the knowledge base that I do here, that you can actually start triaging the bugs, that you do what a developer would do, like retrieve like what kind of role has this user, because there might be some permission issue, or like what is the status of an order, those kind of things. So that is something that you can do as well. And then you can even like in another next step say, oh, you have the wrong role, we have to adjust this role, and then that can be by adjusting, but then you're actually doing mutations, and we always want to have some kind of human in the loop there, because it's actually mutating something. So that is something that you don't want to do like this, and then you can have these kind of human in the loop interventions. So in a nutshell, what you can do, there are some pros and cons with both tools. I feel like if you're not that technical, you get the most out of a tool like N8N. It's pretty easy to set up, but you can't really get into the deep if you want to, and that is something that you can do with LlamaGraph. Yeah, I think this is it. There's as said, there's a lot of ground to cover. I hope it gave a little bit of a view and insight how you can leverage AI to get from patches to self-healing systems. We're definitely on the journey towards that self-healing systems, but there's definitely progress, and there's a lot of potential in there. And it's, yeah, and as like the cockroaches, that was actually the La Cucaracha. I think that Jose knows what I mean. That was like the first name of our AI hackathon club. And yeah, it's about how you can adapt, right, in order to survive. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. It was really wonderful. I like it very much, and this is incredible how our profession is changing with all this AI, agentic AI, Gen AI, and so on. So it's amazing. When did you start with that?
Start of 2023.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. A couple of months after ChatGPT went live, and everyone was very, very excited. Yeah, it's a startup, so they were pretty quick with jumping on the AI hype train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was? Can you tell me a little bit about this? Because not all the things that I guess you done were successful, so you need to try out many things, I guess.
Yes, yes. It's definitely a journey, and um, uh, yeah, it's a good thing to try out a lot of different things. And I feel like, especially with all the latest developments, it can also be overwhelming, right? Like, oh, there's so many tools out there, what to choose, what to do, and I think it's in that case, it's very good to like stay within your own context and look at the challenges that you have around in your context, and see like, oh, are there like what would be like the smallest step that I could do to like improve this? And that's also like this iteration thing that you see in the bug management. You start with something simple, and then you can like extend more. You get like a bit more feeling what you can do with different tools. And it's not just like the AI thing, it's also like integrating different tools with each other. It's also about what kind of tools are already there at your context. But yeah, like especially like making the comparison between like a low code tool like and LangGraph, I definitely see there is quite a high, steep learning curve in LangGraph.
Yeah.
But it's also like about what you want. I also like to get that more in-depth knowledge.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's also about
Yeah, we
what is
will.
interesting to you.
Regarding line graph, it's going to be amazing because we are going to have where it's now a premiere what I'm telling here. So we are going to change one of the tutorial so that we are going to
Mm,
show people how to use a line graph, and
yeah.
so this is going to be at the Agile Testing Days this year.
Oh, really? Ah, interesting.
It's
Yeah,
going
and
to.
then also if you look at the developments of the last couple of weeks, like Claude Code is a
Mm,
really big thing. And I see like many developers are also starting to use that to like code like different development tasks. But um, I think you can also use that in combination with an extra context, and that is something that you can also um, unlock with these MCP servers. I don't know if that is something that you heard about.
yes, yes.
Mm.
I only said Angie Jones. Angie Jones.
Oh, okay,
She's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be also at the Agile Testing Days. So she's
Ah, nice.
yeah.
Ah, love me. I
Yes,
would love to
yes,
meet her then.
yes. Yeah, she's,
Um,
you will see she's amazing.
nice,
I don't know
nice.
if
Yeah, but
she's I don't know if she's a better dancer or better ITler. I don't know. So she can dance
but
crazy.
then she's a great
But
dancer, I
she's
think.
a great mind. She's a great
Wow,
mind.
amazing.
Uh, there are
Nice,
few people
nice.
like her,
Yeah,
in my
and
opinion.
like you can create MCPs as well with N8N, so that is also a nice development. And you can like plug that in all of these AI, ChatGPT, Claude Code, whatever you want. So there are lots of things going on right now. It's exciting times.
Okay, there is a question
Mm-hmm.
from Linda van der Voren. I guess
Ah,
you know her, and
uh-huh.
she said, "Great presentation, Anaïs. Did you design the human in the loop step, or did something happen to make you implement it?"
It's not yet there. It's like a next step, next development. I actually tried it out though, but it is something that you can do with LangGraph. Because you have like these graphs. I can show a little bit here. I will just go back here.
What I said, I okay, yeah, no,
So you have your length graph, and you start your flow with a query, for example, and then it actually saves this thread under an ID. And then at some point, when it wants to call this tool to mutate something like a user's role, you can say, okay, stop it right here. I want to interrupt the flow. Then you can instruct this LangGraph to send a message in the Slack thread that I just showed. For example, like, okay, first we need confirmation from the developer or like someone specific, and then like that message can trigger this flow again with the correct thread ID, and in that way it knows like, oh yeah, this is the flow I was in, and now I can continue this flow. So you can actually set keep track of memory and keep track of these kind of actions with this whole LangGraph concept. I think I tried it out with like a small POC, but yeah, still need to make it work in the big picture. It's, as I said, a steep learning curve. But thanks for your question, Linda.
Yeah, thanks so much. So, my dear, thanks so much for the great talk. It was amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Agile Testing Days. And you will see that this is going to be a hot topic, because not only the talks and our profession is moving around AI and all the things around, but also a lot of sponsors. I think there is a lot of sponsors coming with solutions that help us to maybe to make our job better. I don't know. So thanks so much for thanks so much for being there. Okay, and see you ladies in.
See you in Potsdam, and also see Linda at Potsdam with her amazing talk.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye. So this was AgileTD After Work. So I hope to see you the next days, because we have something next week, 2 or 3 more. We're going to have also Pepper Spar. So if you like it, please tell your friends, and I hope to see you there next time. And see you.